This right here is a Nokia 5000 D2 and it was released in 2008. And also during that time it was the coolest phone you could get. I mean, look at how thin it is compared to this new Smart Moodzy from Econet. In the comments, tell me which one looks better. I thought technology was there to make things even smaller, but here we are. It would be silly to compare the specs for these two phones, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yes, technology is in the favor of the Econet Atom here, but how does a phone released in 2020 come with a 0.3 megapixel camera? A phone from 12 years ago has a processor powerful enough to process over 4 times the number of pixels. The 0.3 megapixel camera is absolutely unacceptable for even a $3,000 ZIM phone. If you're enjoying this video, please subscribe to the channel, like this video and share it. It would help me a lot to make more of these videos for you guys. But what is it like to use? Since it supports WhatsApp, let's go right ahead and start here. It took me a while to get WhatsApp all set up on this, but this is how it looks on a go. You have your chats over there, quickly followed by your contacts. Open a chat and it will look all familiar there. Name of the contact or group is up top and the chats are right below. To click on links, you can just scroll up to the message and press the middle button. The link is highlighted already and all you do is click on it to open it. In this case, I just got to a group I'm already in. For typing, you have your message box here. You'll need to brush up on your T9 keyboard typing skills though, because I felt like a monkey typing with this phone for the first time. You can pretty much do all the WhatsApp stuff that you could do on a Nokia Asha, and that's about it. Oh, you thought it has a selfie camera so you can video call. Sorry, but you won't be able to WhatsApp call on this phone, let alone video call. It just does not have the horsepower. Enough of that, let's move on to the software powered by KaiOS. The home screen is not too out of the ordinary. You have a selection of apps to the left that you can access quickly by clicking on the left key on the D-pad. From here, you can then use the up or down keys to jump to the app you want to launch. To access the notifications, you click on the left button labeled Notices and all of them will be listed in order of time. The newest notification is at the top. You also get to pick toggles that you can access by clicking on the top button on the D-pad, allowing you to adjust the volume, the screen brightness, which is manual, the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, switch on and off your airplane mode, turn on the flashlight, you know, the usual bits. Click on the middle silver button on the D-pad and it will open the app drawer with all installed apps. Again, you can use the D-pad to cycle through the rest of the apps. If the grid presentation of apps somehow bothers you, you can click on the options and change it to list view, and if you still find it hard to navigate the apps for some reason, then you can select single view. And the app that dominates the screen is the one that you have selected. I did experience a few annoying cases of the phone freezing when I was selecting some options and sometimes actually crashing after turning on the Wi-Fi. Granted, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because the KaiOS platform is still new and has its kinks, but something to take note of. The App Store for KaiOS is still quite understocked, so you really need to adjust your expectations when exploring it. But again, this is a feature phone, so why would you even have high expectations? While we are on the subject of annoying, if your internet connection is not absolutely perfect, which is almost always the case in Zimbabwe lately, it simply won't connect to Wi-Fi. You'll just be receiving a notification saying Wi-Fi has no internet. I was expecting this phone to perform much better in that regard since its data requirements are far much less than those of, let's say, a smartphone. Like the 12-year-old Nokia, this Atom cannot multitask. I did not know how important this feature was until I used this phone. So once you leave an app, it's closed, except for apps like WhatsApp that can run in the background. Oh, it has Google Assistant and Google Maps too, and they actually work. I was seriously surprised they would work at all considering this is a GOAT, not much horsepower in it to run a GPU or something. But it's also a testament to how far technology has come. As long as you have a fast enough internet connection, really anything should be possible. And on this phone, navigation is. Though the navigation does not have voice guidance, so all you'll be doing is constantly referring to the directions on the screen to see if you're turning left, right in the next 100 meters. Good luck with that. The battery was an interesting experience. In the endurance test, it suffered a 55% power drain after an hour each of video recording, video streaming, and gaming. But this is not the kind of phone you will be using for that. It's a goat built for more serious stuff, and so your casual WhatsApp, calling, and light browsing will not do much damage to the 1500 mAh battery. Charging is taken care of by a micro USB port, and it does not take long to fill up the battery with a standard 5-watt charger. After all, it is a small battery. But I'm still not a fan of not having a charging brick in the box. All you get is just a micro USB cable, and that's it. Cameras! You know what? Since we already know that the cameras are going to be horrible, we might as well go ahead and do a blind mbudzi comparison. The 2020 Econet Atom 3G versus the 2008 Nokia 5000. I shall reveal which phone is which at the end of this video just to keep things interesting, but for now there is phone A and phone B. Both phones do not have software magic to help out with the imaging processing. There is no image stabilization or autofocus on both, so I had to have a very steady hand to pull off these photos. The photos on both phones are very soft, and in some shots they look hazy. Part of that is the extremely low resolution of the pictures. The dynamic range is almost non-existent, so either the highlights are totally blown out or the shadows have zero detail. On one of the phones there is this blur occurring on the edges of the photos. It is not a filter, it actually is a result of a poorly manufactured lens that does not compensate for the outer edges when it's manufactured. Yeah, this is how your selfie will look. So what are the cool things about this phone? It's one of the cheapest phones you can buy that can run WhatsApp. It has an awesome battery life, it uses up far much less data than a typical smartphone, and believe it or not, it has a Wi-Fi hotspot feature, so you can tether your 3G connection to your other devices. And the bits that are not so cool about it are, the camera is very terrible. Don't buy it if your main reason is that it has a camera. The Wi-Fi hates less than ideal conditions, so most of the time it won't connect. The frequent software crashes when navigating the UI can make you want to throw it at a wall or something. I know the motivation is saving on costs, but buying a phone without a charger in the box should not be standard. But hey, at least they included the cable, so I guess that's a win. Tecno also has a phone much similar to this one, also running KaiOS. If you want to see a head-to-head of those two goats, let me know in the comments. Oh, and which phone is which? I did not forget, here is the big reveal. Thank you so much for watching, I'll see you around.